4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So, here we go.
How you all feel tonight?
God, this bug, dude. All right, I'll try to ignore it. Got my topo since it's 11 a.m. here.
What is that? Water?
Yeah, just sparkling water. It's like
okay.
Remember last week I had the what was that drink called? Liquid Death.
I love that name. That can is just great. You would think it's like energy drink or like a hard seltzer or something. So I was surprised that it was just sparkling water.
Yeah, to me it looks like a Guinness.
It does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just drinking iced tea because we were trying to get something. We went to McDonald's, kind of bad, but
It's the weekend. Who cares?
yeah,
Birthday
we
weekend
just
too.
wanted some. Yeah, thank you. It's been fun.
So you just gonna bring me a birthday gift on my birthday to my birthday party on my birthday with a birthday gift? Happy birthday.
Where's my birthday gift?
I know. My gift was so lame because
Oh no, don't worry.
oh, I didn't realize that you had Venmo'd me. I totally forgot for Simplecast, and you Venmo'd me $25.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna get you the gift card for Lemon Shark. Like as soon as I realized your birthday was the next day, I went to look for one, and they don't have them unless you go into the store, I think. So just had to do the old Venmo send. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait, that's just exactly what she sent me. So that's lame.
No, it works out perfectly because I on Monday I was gonna go get a haircut, and the guy's salon is kind of close to Dr. Phillips, so I was gonna stop either before or after to get a poke bowl because I haven't been to Lemon Shark in so long. So yeah, I'll be cashing it in on Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank
What an
you.
amazing day.
Wow.
How many cups of coffee did you slam this week?
Probably like 1 or 2 a day. I definitely don't do pre-workout anymore. So I think the other day when I don't know if it was like in the evening time, I was like, I'm gonna leave my Yeti ready. So in the morning I can just make my Yeti ready. So I can, make coffee quickly and then just take it with me because I've been drinking coffee at the office, because they have the kitchen, the Keurigs and all that, different kinds of coffee and everything. But I realized then that that we still have, pre-workout. I just don't drink it anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I don't miss it. Like, I think I wanted to get used to the schedule, but now I decided to switch things up a little bit. So I was doing Mondays and Wednesdays at the office, but now this past week I started Monday and Tuesday because I figured that it's better to just do one day after the other, and then I'll be working from home, for the other 3 days, and essentially I won't have to drive all the way to that side of town unless we have to run an errand or something like that. So it's kind of like a good break, like 5 consecutive days that I don't really have to drive to work, because it's ways away. I usually never go to Maitland unless I have to work. So yeah. So yeah, it worked out well this week.
So that's the schedule for now for you, commuting wise. I hope I can do something similar to that when our office opens back up. We're just waiting on word from the owners of all the buildings to so we can investigate on the legalities of bringing employees back because these corporate buildings are basically empty. So just kind of waiting on that, and then we're waiting on company survey results to see how willing people are to start coming back in batches and stuff. So
yeah, same with us. I think we have until the full-on remote for a whole bunch of our departments is still pretty much going to be in full swing, I think, until the end of June. And then last I heard was that actually is a good point. I missed our department meeting on Friday because I only did, half a day. So I need to catch up on that to see if they announced anything. That's when we usually hear any updates about COVID. But they were waiting for like the CDC. That's what the executive team went by. But now the CDC kind of, lifted all these, I think, not bans, but recommendations about mask wearing and all that stuff. I mean, we still do in the office, but most of the folks are still working from home. And I hope that I can keep the, 2 to 3, 2 days at the office, 3 days at home. I don't want to have to, it's really not necessary, honestly. Like I can get face-to-face time with my bosses if I have to, but most of the time I just join them on Google Meet anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, same here. I don't need to really, because my manager, he's in the UK, so there's really no reason to even talk to that many people in person. I think I only have, on my immediate team, I only have like 2 other people, I think, that are in Oregon. But then, my department, for the most part, is here. But yeah, we've been doing just fine on Teams. Speaking of which, we actually just did an Among Us tournament as a big department over Teams. That was really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got schooled completely. I was never the imposter, but when I don't know, because I'm not good at it. I've played it like a handful of times, and it was my first time playing on mobile, so I wasn't even used to moving without like a toggle or anything. But I was just like doing my tasks as you're supposed to do, like playing the game like a normal person. And we would go into like discussion mode to see who did what. And everybody's like, "You're being so suspicious. Like, what's the deal?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't think I am." And they're like, "Oh, that was weird. Can you tell us what tasks you were doing, what room you're in?" And I'm like, I can't even comprehend what I was doing because I'm so new to the game. I'm like, "Oh, I was in a room with like an engine," and like they're like, "Yeah, that's really suspicious. I don't know about Victor." So I got killed off like every other round. It was so funny. They were actually convincing me that I was the imposter. I was coming to terms with that in my head.
Right.
And I never was. And it was always the people blaming me for being suspicious that were the imposter. I was like, damn, that's how you play the game.
Right. Yeah. I think I got invited once to play, and I checked it out. That was last year at some point, but I never really played the game, so I still don't really understand it. I think I checked it out on YouTube, but I should give it a shot.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of that too, have you been doing any gaming recently?
Okay. So I was gonna bring that up. Sam got me 3 games for the Switch for my birthday. I got 2 racing games. There was this one that is a bit obscure, but it's kind of like Formula One, like single seaters, and then a couple of other types of cars, but it's like circuit racing. So I tried that one out. That's pretty cool. I still have to get the hang of steering the car. It's just it's so easy to crash. But then she got me Need for Speed that we have to go pick it up, and I'm excited for that because I remember I used to play that on the PlayStation, or I don't know if it was even available for GameCubes way back in the day. But those I wanted a racing game other than Mario Kart because we have that one, and I feel like that one is like a classic. So the third one was Mega Man. I don't know if you remember that one. Do you remember Mega Man? Like the blue guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's another oldie. I feel like it's kind of like from the Sonic days, and I got that, and yeah, I was just about to start playing it yesterday, but then my parents stopped by because my mom got me a little cake, and then my sister came over too, so we sang happy birthday, and they got me gifts. Yeah, so I wanna try and play that this weekend to just, I mean, we have so many games now, so I feel like whatever you're in the mood for, we can find one that will probably suit that. So yeah, I got a lot of games for my birthday, which I'm pretty excited to play.
That's amazing. I've been not playing many games, unfortunately, but I have been watching people play Resident Evil a lot because the new one just dropped like a couple weeks ago. So that's been really fun to watch people play it.
On the Switch?
No, I don't. No, they don't have it on the Switch. I don't think. I think it's only like new gen consoles and PC, and then like
Okay.
the last gen of everything. But yeah, it's like probably the biggest game out right now.
Yeah, I actually Sam was playing, I think it's Resident Evil on the Switch, but it's an older
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
So, have you ever thought about getting the PS5?
I've been wanting one since it came out. I just can't find one.
Oh,
I should have
really?
consulted Sam because I know you
Yeah,
guys.
you should have.
Yeah,
You got so lucky.
yeah. I'm thinking about actually making a bot. I've been telling myself I want to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. As soon as like I get the what's the word? Uh inspiration to do it, maybe I'll do
Yeah,
it. Who knows? I
you
still
should.
yeah, I know. I've been talking about it for so long.
You know what I've been wanting to do is something that I actually came across this guy's profile on LinkedIn and then checked out his repo because that's what he mentioned on the post at the time,
Mm.
where he used the Twilio API to get text alerts for his dad who was looking for a place in South Florida to get his COVID shot. So he was tapping, I think, an API, that would show that would alert based on the database if there were like any spots open, and then he got a text alert, so he could then tell his dad, "Hey, dad, go on and check now, and you should be able to sign up for a spot." And yeah, so
Oh.
that's why I got the idea just a few weeks ago to check out the Twilio API and see if I can get something working because I want to build something like that using obviously a different API, not COVID related, but maybe with like the Coinbase Pro API, or I know that you can get free access to the Best Buy API because one of my managers does that to keep an eye on GPUs because he
Whoa.
mines. So whenever he gets, I think it's either email or text alerts. I'm not sure, but he's built something to keep an eye out for GPUs because then, as soon as he gets alerted, he goes in and purchases it. Or I think like even the API just buys it for him
That's what I was gonna
already.
say. I don't want to manually buy it. I just want it to buy it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that that's what he told me that it was doing. So it's something really cool. I wanted to do something with a text alert so I can use
Yeah.
the Twilio API just because I think it's so cool. And I installed a whole bunch of stuff on my work laptop already to run Python with the Twilio packages and stuff like that. So I need
Wow.
to
I have to
figure
play
something
around with
out.
that. I've never played around with Twilio ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think when I signed up for an account, they gave me like $15 in credits. So, and then you pick like a phone number, that you wanted to be the sender, and obviously you just change it to I was in the case I think using my company phone or my personal phone to
Hmm.
get as the recipient. But yeah, they give you like a few bucks to try out the text messaging, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, the Twilio has so much stuff there. It's insane.
Did you use it in the boot camp ever?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Maybe that was maybe I actually have used it because I know we built a web app where uh, part of the functionality was that when you press a button, it allows you to like put in the person you want to send this thing to,
Mm-hmm.
and it would text them. So I get we used some. I guess we used Twilio. I don't know. We used something like that, and it was kind of cool to
Cool.
demo.
Yeah, I first heard of that company when I don't think you had joined the company where we worked together at yet. It was like 1 or 2 years before that. But I was asked to kind of look into it because with clients in the hospitality field, they wanted to establish like a means of communication between the hotel staff and the guests, so they were trying to do that via text messaging.
Mm.
And Twilio is like a very robust service that you would be able to recreate that, but I was like, not at this. I think that the scope for this is way above our heads. Like, you need a full on development project that would probably take a couple of years to be able to launch something like this. So Yeah, I looked into it, and that's when I kind of just, kept it in my back pocket. And then now for side projects and stuff like that, it's definitely something that I want to use because I wanted to build a side project that is, I think, crypto focused or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see if there's another use. I definitely want to have Twilio in the mix because of how I think easy to react to a text message is, in comparison to, I mean, I get emails, but I am definitely more prone to reacting to a text message than an email. I feel like with emails, I just kind of leave it there and then I'm like, okay, I'll deal with it a couple hours from now. But with text messages, I don't know, it definitely catches my eye more. So I think I like to, whatever the first half of the project is, in terms of uh, the technologies or the purpose of it, whether it be like a product tracking API, like Best Buy, or whether it be like something related to crypto. Then yeah, I definitely want to have like that being used as the trigger, but then like the action is firing out a text message. So I
Mm-hmm.
just have to, yeah, make some time to play around with it a little bit.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do it soon. Once I get like maybe an afternoon free, I think I'm
Hmm.
gonna do a bot for the PS5.
Oh,
That
nice.
wasn't that was enough convincing for me. I just needed a little
Yeah,
inspo. Did,
definitely do it.
did you watch the Google I/O presentation?
Was that just this week?
Uh, yeah, it was recently. It was like a few days ago, I think.
No, I don't think I did. Mm-mm.
Ooh, good, cause I got some stuff to show you.
Ooh,
So
gee.
they showed a lot of really cool stuff. They started out with a banger.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Sudar.
Oh, the
Oh,
CEO.
Sundar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he opened up with a banger and showed
Uh,
us this.
Say you wanted to learn about one of my favorite planets, Pluto. Lambda already understands quite a lot about Pluto and millions of other topics. Let's listen to a conversation the team had with Pluto a few days ago.
I'm so curious about you.
I sense your excitement. Ask me anything.
Tell me what I would see if I visited.
You would get to see a massive canyon, some frozen icebergs, geysers, and some craters.
It sounds beautiful.
I assure you it is worth the trip. However, you need to bring your coat, because it gets really cold.
I'll keep that in mind. Hey, I was wondering, have you ever had any visitors?
Yes, I have had some. The most notable was New Horizons, the spacecraft that visited me.
Let's break down what made it feel so natural.
Yeah, that's like it's called Lambda. I think I skipped that part. But
uh-huh.
basically, it uses machine learning and everything to basically just to mimic any subject and make it a talking person, so that you can like
Okay.
talk to the Eiffel Tower or like
Oh,
Abraham Lincoln
gotcha.
and learn
Okay.
more about them that way instead of like reading Wikipedia or something,
Uh-huh.
which is absolutely insane.
Wow. It's like personification of like
Yeah.
monuments and other,
It doesn't get everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was
that's
like
awesome.
strong opener for the conference. And then there was this other thing called Little Patterns, which I'm not even going to try to explain this. This lady's going to do a better job of explaining it.
Screenshots, selfies, all stored together, makes it hard to rediscover the important moments. Soon, we're launching a new way to look back that we're calling Little Patterns. Little Patterns show the magic in everyday moments by identifying not so obvious moments and resurfacing them to you. This feature uses machine learning to translate photos into a series of numbers and then compares how visually or conceptually similar these images are. When we find a set of 3 or more photos with similarities such as shape or color, we'll surface them as a pattern. When we started
Oh,
testing Little Patterns,
wow.
we saw some great stories come to life. like how one of our engineers traveled the world with their favorite orange backpack, or how our product manager, Christy, had a habit of capturing objects of similar shape and color. We also want to bring these moments to life with cutting-edge effects. Last year, we launched cinematic photos to help you relive your memories in a more vivid way. Cinematic moments will take these near-duplicate images and use neural networks to synthesize the movement between image A and image B. We interpolate the photos and fill in the gaps by creating new frames. The end result is a vivid,
like a live
moving
photo,
picture.
but more impressive.
And the cool thing about this effect is it can work on any pair of images, whether they were captured on Android, iOS, or scanned from a photo album.
Isn't that terrifying, but really cool?
That is, yeah. Wow.
Because it doesn't look like it's using. I don't really know how live photos work, but I guess it like has something to do with the aperture in a way. Like, I don't know, some sort of digital, not real aperture, but you know, just takes a video and is always like,
exactly.
You know,
but this one is not. Yeah.
Terrifying. Wow. Like, imagine like the technology they have that they could do like deep fakes and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like even better than the ones that exist nowadays.
Yeah. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. This is pretty like groundbreaking stuff. And it's so interesting that you mentioned it, because last night I was watching a couple of Google DeepMind videos. DeepMind is like their machine, like a big machine learning research project by Google. And I watched one documentary of this South Korean game called Go. And this guy is called Lee Sedong. I think he was like an 18-time champion of the world of this game called Go in South Korea. And he played a machine learning bot by Google's DeepMind research project called AlphaGo. In like, apparently in Go, like in a championship, you have 5 games, right? It's like 5 different days, and you have 5 games. And the intelligence of this, you know, machine learning algorithm or whatever, like, you know, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just incredible. The guy managed to win one of the games though, which was even more interesting. Yeah, game 4, he made a move that, so basically, from what I understood in the documentary, I think it was even on Netflix, but I watched it on YouTube. Highly recommended. It's incredible what the software is able to do.
All right.
Every single move, it's made based on the probability that the software can win against the opponent, right? Mm-hmm. And the depth of each move is calculated with like, I don't know, 90 moves ahead of anybody else, you know? So like, how could a human even match that? And the guy won one game because he made a move that when the software saw what he did and tried to calculate it, he made a move that the program AlphaGo thought was 1 out of 10,000 possibility that the opponent would make. So it just shows how this guy really is, you know, the best champion out there, the best possible opponent for a computer to play against. But once the computer had to react, it kind of broke. Like, it started making really bad plays. And then the probability that it would win would fall with every turn. And eventually, you know, he had to resign. There was no other option. Like, the computer software had to resign, and then the guy won. But every other play was just incredible. Like the guy, Lee, that was playing against it, was saying how it was just amazing how a human would never be able to play at that level, because the computer software was so creative with its choices to, like, I think, prevent the opponent from being able to read what it was going to do next, you know, or like, it had no real style of play. It was just very, very, it was able to foresee things at a level that a human would never be able to, you know, no matter how intelligent you are. And then, you know, because I feel like with chess, it's the same thing. This guy, Magnus Carlsen, that has been like the champion for I don't know how long, it's all about being able to see ahead, like with every move, like what are the chances that your opponent is going to play here, and then what can happen from there. But it was truly like incredible to see how far artificial intelligence is going to go. I mean, it's still very nascent, like one of the commentators was saying, and I thought it was, but it just shows how this guy found the bug in the software, because there is no software without bugs, and he cracked it. Yeah, sure, he lost the series of games and everything, but he won one.
Yeah,
And
that's still like so impressive all on its own.
very impressive. Yeah, it was. I highly recommend that documentary. It was
So,
really really cool.
what's this game? It's called Go.
Go, yeah, Go.
And
It's
how does
pretty
it?
big. Okay, so I don't fully understand the premise of the game itself, but it's like a big board with a whole bunch of, like, a grid essentially, and you have your black and white pieces, and I think you're trying to cover the most area with your pieces, but obviously there are like rules as to where you can place them. I'm not really sure.
Huh.
I just know that
Sounds
this
like
guy has
Minesweeper.
been, yeah, right. I think, I mean, this guy won like 18 times or something against everybody
Mm,
else. And yeah, this is, I don't know. I was just like really impressed by the whole thing, really.
yeah.
And then I started reading a little bit more about DeepMind, like this Google machine learning research division, and they've built also, I think, a Alpha Zero, which was a chess machine learning bot, and it was just, I don't know, it's so interesting. I know that I don't understand too much about it, but it's so incredible, like how much you can teach these things.
Yeah. Just with like
So
historical data and
yeah, right,
the
right.
everything with the predictions that they can make just based on the historical data is absolutely nuts. With the similar or what's it called, little patterns,
Little patterns, yeah.
and like the live photo thing that they just showed, like that's all how
Uh-huh.
that is run, which is insane and
Right.
scary. And Lambda, where you can just talk to Pluto and
Yeah.
find out about Pluto. Obviously, it's like in beta and still, I'm sure, has some funny things to say back that don't make
Mm-hmm.
any sense. So once it's out there, it's gonna be kind of weird because like, who knows what people are gonna do with it, which
Yeah.
which also kind of makes you wonder. I saw MKBHD. He asked this to Sundar.
Mm-hmm.
He asked him something like, "Do you think that corporations such as Google and Facebook and all these companies that are applying machine learning to everything that they're developing in AI and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that at some point that the government should step in and have some sort of say in what they're able to use with it? Because a lot of people can definitely see this getting to in the wrong hands if they have like some sort of environment where they can make whatever they want and make some scary stuff potentially. But I mean, that's how the world has always been, I guess, with any new technological advancement. But I don't know, what would you think about the corporations completely being in control of it, or having the government step in a little bit?
Um, I mean, I think that there has to be some kind of intervention because of ethical, like, like there's definitely like an ethical argument, I think, with everything, right? Like when it stops being just a piece of software and it transitions into an element that essentially governs how we live and how it can affect our lives like deeply, then there has to be some kind of like accountability for that, because I mean, computers don't have limits, I don't think. I think that they'll never have, I mean, okay, I guess I don't want to contradict myself, because see, like in the argument of AlphaGo, the guy found the limit. He found the computer bug. He broke it, you know? And but I think that uh corporations are always going to try and find the human limits where the computers can exploit it in some way. I don't know. I think it's more of a like an ethical argument than anything, because there has to be, a way to oversee and prevent I don't know, conglomerates from, just monopolizing everything, and like having such a powerful technology that, like Amazon, that can predict every single thing that you might want to purchase. Like those suggestions they have on the app when you open, that is not a mistake. It is by design.
Mhm.
If you have an Alexa in your house, they're listening to you,
All
and
the
they are,
time.
yeah. If you have, I mean, obviously everyone has a cell phone. Like your cell phone is listening to you at all times, and then you will open up like a website or any app that has Google ad choice, it shows you what you were talking about. So, it's right now, I think that the big, like the giants, of the industry, they do get away with a lot. But it's already like a matter of, do we even have privacy? Like if we're bringing these devices that are listening to us in our own homes, like there's no privacy. Like we, our conversations are being sold and are being used to, I think, just create even more of I don't know, like a more of a like a piece in a chessboard where, we're just being told constantly to consume, to buy, to try, to like give more and more away. So I think one day, we're gonna look back, I think, at this time and say that maybe we saw everything that's going on right now, the development of all of these technologies, as something that should have been more, I think, careful or regulated to a degree, because there's bias in all of it too. So it's very tough to know like how much is too much to regulate it, but then this is all intellectual property, so these companies are like, no, this, I mean, we're going to build it this way, and then if people want to use it, they will use it. If not, like, they have terms of agreement, they have all of that to kind of cover their butts. But
Yeah.
I think that there has to be, because our government was designed to deal with issues that were caused by the industrial age, and we're not in that age anymore. We're in the technology age, like in the digital age. So it's very tough, because I still think that there's a lot of the old mindset and old paradigms that still like rule our society. So it's hard to even know where to start fresh. But I think the younger generations are going to have to think about that and
Oh yeah.
find a way to use tech for, for to like meet our needs and help, but not take over like Terminator, Skynet style.
Yeah. Well, we've even seen a hint of, not even a hint, I guess, but with all these tech CEO celebs in court talking to the government, and them, asking the most like cringy questions and trying to,
Yeah.
kind of get a sense of the scope of control that they have on everybody and all the
Right.
data that they have on
Mhm.
everybody who uses it and doesn't use it. That's already like kind of started now, and that already is kind of crazy, because I don't think too many people really saw that coming. And it's kind of rough thinking like that it's not going to get better. Like, I don't think there's going to be this like realization and consensus where like companies are going to be like, oh, we have to be like more and more open than we already are, because like they already give us the piece of paper, or the digital piece of paper contract to read,
Right.
and nobody wants to read it anyway.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just it's weird, because everybody selling us these things, they're just gonna know more and more and more as time goes on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really weird. We're all like becoming products.
Right. Yeah.
All thanks to Zuck.
Oh, yeah, for real. I think one thing that it took away the most when I took an ethics course for engineers in school was that there are jobs that are seen as jobs, and then there are, jobs that are professions, where your actions, your actual, like your projects, like the things that you're producing, they can affect people's lives, whether it be like a simple little car part that if it fails can cause a crash and then someone dies, like it's serious stuff. And I think that with engineers, with doctors, with lawyers, like you're held to a certain degree of accountability where you can lose your license, you can go to prison for something that for negligence or something that you did while practicing your profession. But for software engineers, there isn't that yet.
I've
And
never thought
what
about it like
is
that.
right? Well, that's the thing. That's why, like I'm bringing it up because in the class, I'd never thought of it that way either. But what do we use on a daily basis? Yeah, we drive cars, we live in our houses, we have to obey laws, we have to go to the doctor to get an annual
Yeah.
checkup, we take medications. Everything that we're consuming as, as people every day, someone made it, and only certain areas of those are being regulated or being overseen by like a body of people or like an entity that ensures the quality and the control of it. Now what about software? Like we consume that on a daily basis, like we have phones, we have social media, we have apps. Like who controls that? There isn't any control. So it's kind of like the wild west in a sense, because Google, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, they get away with so much, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I am all for like the happy medium, but they're a business, they're
Yeah.
making so much money. If there is some kind of government intervention, I mean, these Senate hearings that they have, what does that end up in? Like a couple, like they might have to pay a fine and like millions of dollars. What is that to them? They don't
And we get a
care.
couple memes out of it.
Yeah, memes, exactly.
The only good thing
Um,
about them.
right. But there's such like a force of nature now that I think it will be really, really telling, how things go from now, because there has to be, some kind of a balance between how much they can get away with and how much the government has a say in things, for the benefit, like the benefit of the people, for like the well-being of people. Because yeah, right now, software engineers, they have a very important job. They
Yeah.
affect people's lives just like other engineers, doctors, lawyers, and pharmacists, anything. But yeah, I think that it's, I don't know, it's something to think about, honestly.
Yeah.
And it would be like interesting to find out how that goes, if there is like I don't know, group of or like activists that will be able to push through like that wall, because I mean these companies are so hard to go up against.
Yeah. Well,
And yeah.
I think it's gonna take not necessarily like it's pessimistic to say. I don't think it's gonna be enough to have a group of activists to really do anything. I think it's gonna have to be more companies like DuckDuckGo
Yeah.
with that sort of like um, vision of
Hmm.
transparency and no data stored, that sort of thing, which is like going back in time because before that wasn't really happening, where we
Hmm.
were tracking everybody's data and whatnot. So it's weird to like go forward. We kind of have to go backward, I think, in a
Right.
way. But I do hope that there can be some sort of um, bigger push than there already is. I know they had that big Netflix documentary recently on data privacy and stuff. That was really cool, and it
Yeah.
it interviewed all those developers who and project managers who felt like they feel so bad that they even started all this mess because now
Hmm.
people are going nuts online and whatnot, and
Yeah.
we're all just walking products. But yeah, it's pretty weird stuff. I hope something happens. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
really happen anytime soon, but we're gonna have to change
Yeah.
our the way we treat each other and whatnot because it's not fun. Um, but
Yeah.
on a lighter note,
Mm-hmm.
I do have a quick little video.
So let's start with a couple of questions here about the science that you're doing on board the space station. So what kind of research are you doing in space that we can't do anywhere else?
That's a great question, Mark. You know,
Oh, God. The
That's
Zuck.
a great question, Mark. Oh my gosh. He's
Legendary.
meme-tastic. Yeah.
Oh my
Just
gosh. I have a couple here actually, but I'll spare you the cringe. There was one where he was in a live chat. You know what? I'll play it. Who cares?
Um, there's
Zuck
some
again.
pretty good ones. Uh, Especially, you know, one of the crazy things when you do these live Q&As is some of them are very silly. So we got one. Mark, are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no on that. I am not a lizard. But you know, keep the high quality comments coming in, please. This is surely on track to be a great live Q&A if we continue getting stuff at that level of quality. There's actually a lot of funny stuff in here too.
What an
I
taco
love that. Oh
taco.
my god. Oh my god. He's got a good sense of humor. So dry, by the way. It's so funny that he said that because you know when Sam and I started dating, she told me about this whole lizard DNA people. Have you ever heard of that?
What? No.
Yeah. Apparently, like and I don't know, there's like a lot of elites of the world, like royal families and you know aristocrats, I don't know, top level government people. They have like a little bit of lizard DNA in them. Apparently, it's like something just for I don't know, not for the common folk or whatever. And I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but it just made me laugh because he said that, and I was like, "Jesus, is that one of those that believes in like lizard DNA?" And yeah, I know that just kind of threw me back. I was like, I still don't know if that's true,
Oh
but
my gosh. Well, I know that I'm not elite then because I did my 23andMe DNA test and 0% lizard came back. So
oh come on.
guess I'm just a normal guy.
I uh I never did one of those. I thought about it like a while back, but I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I felt dirty afterwards, honestly. I was like in college when I did it, and I wasn't really thinking about that sort of data thing
Mm-hmm.
before. But yeah, it is weird that they could probably clone me.
Mm-hmm.
Odd
Right?
stuff. And I don't know, it's cool. I've actually like talked to a few people that I've never met or known, but I'm related to like pretty closely on a DNA level. And they're like, "Oh,
Nice.
are you this person's grandson or do you know who it is?" And like it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
And like seeing like exactly what you're made up of and like how far off some people were and some little surprises here and there. I think it's cool. We actually just sent our dog's DNA. Speaking of dogs,
Ooh.
yeah, we're gonna find out what he is soon, so that'll be nice. And then it should actually help us determine what to feed him too and what not to feed him.
Wow. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we're stoked. It was oh, I'm not gonna say the company. They sponsor podcasts, so hopefully they'll
Okay.
sponsor this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know anyone that has gotten like for my immediate family or like, you know, close circle of friends that got their DNA results back. But I mean, I've always been very, very curious because I mean, I went to school for biotech, you know, back in the day, and then I think that was when all of these like home testing kits all started to come out, and
Mm.
I was all, very, very tempted. I still am, but I don't know, kind of torn still.
You probably did it for homework already.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, like if I had access to a university lab and they allowed me to sequence it, then I would totally do it. But I don't
Yeah.
trust it all the way through to send it to like a company that can
It,
store it.
it was so awkward. You just like you have a little vial and you
Yeah.
just have to spit into it and like you have to do
Really?
it up to a line so you're just like
I thought it
so
was a
weird.
swab.
It was a swab for the dog.
Okay.
That was nice, but yeah, just
Gotcha.
a vial of spit. So that was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Well, on that note, let's
Mhm.
transition to the because some big things happened. Do we call them big? I guess we call it big. Some big
Yeah.
things happened this week.
Right.
Not looking too good over on the cork board behind me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Elon.
Yeah, I was gonna start the podcast with yeah, can we please have, a minute of silence for good old Bitcoin and Ethereum? Oh.
Not good. Not good at all.
Bad.
So I
Yeah.
don't really know exactly how it all started, but I do know that on stock twits, a lot of people were like, "Oh, thanks Elon, thanks Elon," and then I see on his Twitter that he tweeted like, that they won't be accepting Bitcoin anymore at Tesla for environmental reasons. I think
Such bullshit.
behind like mining Bitcoin and stuff, which okay, fine. And then China was doing, or they are doing the same thing. They're like banning financial institutions against crypto. I think
Right. I
also
think that
for
caused the biggest dip in the market, I think.
So tell us, are you buying the dip?
I bought only like $50 of an altcoin, but I haven't really done anything. I haven't really taken any action with the other, like my existing portfolio. If anything, I was buying a little bit more, but I kind of already exceeded like my goals for crypto this year. I had like a little list that I created in the beginning of the year of what I wanted to do with, my portfolio. Definitely put more money into it. But I think for now, I'm going to just sit back and watch a little bit, see, how things are. I don't know, over the next couple of months or a couple of weeks, we'll see. Because the cool thing about the crypto market is that it's open 24/7, so you get to see things like moving up and down. But it's been
I'm
rough
not
for
too
the past
scared.
week.
It was actually
I'm
a little scary at first, but I bought the dip and I'm stoked I did just because like
yeah,
you know with the fact that there is 2 extra days out of the week that it's open like you said, and then like 24 hours that adds up to a few more days over the course of the
right.
week. There's just way more time for change. And
Hmm.
zooming out on this, you can just see like this, like from January to now, we're still up 30% from where we were before.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
an entire year ago on there, we're still up 300%. So like this is
Yeah.
hardly like a bad thing in my opinion. I don't know. I'm
Right.
also not a crypto head, but I'm still pretty optimistic that like this was like actually a super good opportunity to get more in. So
Yeah.
I decided to go in, and
Right.
I saw that Tom from MySpace, he tweeted that he's buying the dip after I bought the dip. I was like, perfect, okay, someone sensible doing it too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, I think that, like you said, it's a very good opportunity, to get more for your money, and to hold on to it, because that's honestly like I am a long-term investor of crypto. I don't want to just, make a quick like turnaround.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't, I don't exchange, or cash out like as soon as I see an increase in investment that I've made. So I want to hold on to it because I see the potential for it in the future. And then in
Unless it's a
terms
meme
of
stock.
right. No, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like the other ones, like Doge and uh Shib, I think it was, like the other very low, extremely high volume coins, but those are just the meme coins or whatever. Then yeah, it's for like a quick, turnaround. But oh yeah, so this kind of like ties into what I wanted to recommend.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, so I came across this service called cointracker.io, and it's a platform that allows you to like track your portfolios across multiple exchanges and wallets. So I, for instance, have, I use a couple of exchanges, like the bigger ones that you see out there, like Coinbase and Gemini. But I have, I think, like an additional one or two accounts, and I have like all the apps on my phone, so I have to like open one, open the other, and like check everything. But I
Does it
think
tell you
with
if
this,
anything's down, like systems wise, like how Coinbase base was down with all this and everything?
like the Coinbase was the service itself, or
Yeah, like I don't know, just yeah, it was down recently when all this was going down. But I was just
right?
wondering if this coin tracker allows you to like see like the status of
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think it does. Yeah, I haven't created the account yet. It was like I think my sister was the one that recommended it because
Okay.
we were talking about it, but I definitely want to give it a shot and kind of wanted to, plug that as
All
well.
right.
Because I
I'm
think
gonna
it
give it a
solves a
shot.
problem. Yeah, yeah. Let me know how you like it, because it kind of solves a problem that I have now, because like I said, I have a few different, exchanges that I use. So it's kind of have to like switch back and forth. And then I have another app that, tracks like the more granular fluctuations of the market for, like, let's say Ethereum. If I want to see how it's doing like for the past 6 months, like this thing is just, it's a bit more technical than I would like it to be, but I like seeing the, the charts, and Coinbase shows that too. But I think yeah, trading view, I think we've talked about before,
Mhm.
is one that I really like. So I use that as well in addition to the other exchanges. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm still pretty optimistic about. I don't want to sound naive, but I still think that, this whole thing is kind of like an adjustment that
Mhm.
we're kind of going through. But regardless, I am not gonna sell what I have. I'm really like holding on to it, and excited to see, like what happens for like the second half of the year.
Can't
And
lose your money if you don't sell.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you can if it goes down a lot, but
Yeah.
but I think that, there's very good chance to rebound. It's just a couple of like bad days or like weeks of publicity, and just kind
Yeah.
of like shot it down. But it's such bullshit, this whole thing with Elon Musk. Like I don't buy it for a second. He's just
Yeah.
speculator at this point. I don't know.
It's annoying how much power his tweets have at this point to me.
Right.
I don't know. He's going down on my list of people I don't like. My recommendation um, has been how do I explain this? So like I'm a big Harry Potter head, and I've been kind of bored with music I've been listening to recently. So and podcasts. I just wanted to take a break from other podcasts. Um, so I started listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks because they're free on Spotify. Like some girl just read all the books and put them on the podcast section in Spotify.
Ooh, that's so
And she's British,
cool.
so she has a great voice and it works out.
Yeah.
Um
Does she do
so
all characters?
yeah, I mean
It's
she
just her.
yeah, she does her best job to, be that
Uh-huh.
character, and I think she does a good job. She's no Jim Dale or whatever his name is who did the
Uh-huh.
original audiobooks, but
Yeah.
yeah, I recommend that because they're all up there, and
Oh,
yeah, it's been a walk down memory lane this week. It's been awesome.
that's so cool. It's funny you
Mhm.
say that, because I started listening to a podcast where they read Dune. The book Dune,
Mm.
like the movie that's gonna come out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. The funny thing is, the writer, like, it turned into a huge book series, and
Yeah.
the writer started it because he was doing a piece on sand dunes. I don't know if it was here in the US or if like it was in a different country or what. And he's like, he did so much research for the magazine or newspaper article that he was writing, that he's like, yeah, I can't cram all of this into, the article that I need to write. So he just went full on and decided to turn it into like a novel, and then it turned
That's
into
how it
like this whole.
happened. Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
I still need to finish the Dune book. I haven't finished my book yet.
Yeah, I started reading or listening to that podcast, and Sam is re-listening to the audiobooks, the Harry Potter ones too, but with the
Mhm.
original voiceover, whatever
Yeah.
narrator. Mm-hmm.
I think it's Jim Dale. I'm gonna have to fact check
Yeah.
that real quick. What is his name?
Oh, another cool thing about Harry Potter that I saw just today,
Yeah, Jim Dale.
Lego. Oh, Jim Dale.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that Target sent me an email about the Lego, the monster book
Yeah,
in Harry
yeah.
Potter.
Monsters with the
Yeah,
Monsters, of course.
yeah. They made a Lego version of that.
Aw.
And I'm obsessed over Lego. And I still don't have any Harry Potter items, but I want to get myself something like the purple bus. I got that for one of my buddies for his birthday, I think last year, and it looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I'm kind of like shopping around for a little Harry Potter, something to add to my collection.
Mm-hmm. I actually just purchased a Keychron K2.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
I don't. Well, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm gonna be doing a little review maybe in the next couple weeks. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get here, but very excited for it. I've been talking about it for like 6 months at least, so it was time to do it, and I'm really excited to get it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I'm also really excited for Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, that game that remember we talked about that game a while ago?
Yeah.
I think it comes out 2022 now.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to have a PC built by then.
I better have a PS5 by then.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. So for one of the classes I'm taking, I had to install Windows on my Mac. I did all of that last week. Boot camp. Yep. I had to create like the partition and everything. So right now on my Mac, I can, like if I start my laptop, I can start it on the Windows partition, and then I have Windows 10 installed. Yeah, it was actually, I mean, I watched a couple of like YouTube videos. Took me about almost 2 hours to get it all done because it wasn't just installing Windows. It was like the other software, the IDEs that we needed to, to install for the class. But now I have Windows on my machine, but I'm thinking about upgrading my laptop. Yeah, I've almost like bought it yesterday. I went to the Apple store, the M1. Yeah, but I actually think I'm getting the 13-inch, just like you have. I think you have the 13-inch, right? Or is it? Yeah. I'm just upgrading it a bit with the 16 gigs of RAM and then 1 terabyte of storage. Wow. That's what I want to get. So they had it at the store yesterday, but I was like, oh, I'm still not sure because I feel like I'm going to miss out on the refresh features they may have less like later in the year if they come out with a new model. It's so tough.
You said that 2 years ago. I feel like you're like, oh, like I'm gonna see what they do soon, and then maybe get it. I'm definitely gonna wait for the next one to come out.
Yeah. I'm still so torn because I desperately need a phone more than a laptop, but I want both. I just don't know which one I want to get first because I always have like this incredible, like itch to buy something in the spring, knowing that there's still an event to come like after or like in the fall usually. So I always like hold back and then I never really buy it. But I definitely need to upgrade both. I mean, my laptop it's just the storage really, I want to have like something faster obviously, and the M1 processor reviews seem very good, and based on what I saw yesterday, like at the store, because I went again to take a look at it, they both like look really really nice. But I'll be saving so much money if I bought the 13-inch instead of the 16-inch, and with the same specs, and the good thing is that I can get the 13-inch with the M1 processor. They don't even have the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the Apple processor yet. So
true, I didn't even put that together.
Yeah,
because I was looking for it this morning on the Apple Store app, and I didn't see it. I was like, oh, I guess they're sold out. That makes sense.
Yeah, they. I think that they will be releasing that later this year. So we'll see.
They probably wanted to see how the 13-inch went first, right? They probably they didn't want to make two of this thing that could potentially be a nightmare and nobody buys. So
right. Yeah. And I think from some of the articles I was reading, they were gonna try and bring back the MagSafe charger, that they had in the older models. Maybe some more ports, because the 13-inch that I saw yesterday at the store, it only has 2 USB ports and a headphone jack. Like, what?
I mean,
so
I don't know. I hate to say it, but I'm used to it now because I don't need that many. I have dongles and then I have like my docking station. So as long as you have one of those, I think that's like it's, at least for me, more than enough. I feel like I have so much gear and stuff plugged in everywhere, and I'm only working with 2 ports, and I don't know. But yeah, I guess docking station or dongle is totally necessary.
I think, I don't know, I might check and see if I can score one from work. I can ask my manager and, be like, hey, the, HDMI cable ain't cutting it anymore. Cause he's asked me and I was like, no, I'm okay for now. But because, I am a developer, like that's the least I think they could do is hook me up with a docking station,
Exactly.
So
Star Tech.
Yeah, right. So I'm still kind of debating. I've done, like a good amount of research. Now I just have to decide whether I want to wait or if I want to get it now. But it would be so fun to get a new laptop. It's just like installing everything from scratch. But I like doing that, just like I had to do the Windows stuff last week. So yeah, that's what I have on my agenda, I think, for the summer.
All right, good to hear. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. We wanted to take it chill this time, for Anna's birthday. So obviously no particular topic covered, but we'll be back next week with something. Who knows what it's going to be,
Right, with another intellectual conversation.
We'll see. Tech heads out, and everybody.
And have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.
Have a great day.